Back in the medieval ages, blacksmiths were responsible for creating all sorts of items such as tools, knives, and swords. Now, although technology has advanced quite a bit since then, the art of blacksmithing is still alive and well at businesses like Stewart Mountain Forge here in the Highlands.
My interest in blacksmithing started with a desire to reenact traditional European values and traditions, and that's kind of the village smithy sort of is at the center of a lot of European communities. All these shops had their different specializations, they had their different focus, and I got to learn from a wide variety of people, a wide variety of tradesmen, craftsmen, and artisans, and adding the availability of genuine European ironwork to the local populace.
There's words in the English language that come from blacksmithing, the first one being upsetting. A knife, for instance, a nice piece of work like this is one of Benoit's. If you heat it up, it loses its temper. So similarly in English language, that means you're getting too hot under the collar and you lose your edge. Another one is when you're drawing out material, you make it longer and longer and longer. That's similar to drawing out a conversation, for instance. You make it longer and longer. And of course, bent out of shape, that's a pretty classic one.
I really like complex French style 14th to 18th century ironwork. It's very difficult to achieve, to do it traditionally, and it's just a big challenge to follow in the footsteps of the great masters. This is genuine late 19th, early 20th century French ironwork, and it's going to be a restoration. Some of the arcantus leaves have rotted away from this being stored outside. It's fun. I mean, it's banging hot metal. I enjoy it. You have open creativity, wide variety of materials, and all the metals, they can be formed into 3-dimension, anything you can imagine. So there's very little limitation.
Blacksmithing has changed in, I think, 3 different ways. One of which is the material. In the old days we used wrought iron. Today we use mild steel. The second one is the energy supply. We used to use coal. Benoit's using propane, and there's other ways of creating heat. And the third one is, in the old days, it was the material was expensive and the labor was cheap. Now the material's less expensive and the labor is more expensive.
A lot of the traditional pioneer works were replaced with factory-made goods. The only one that has kept that is farrier work, so shoeing the horses, which has sort of devolved or sort of branched out from blacksmithing. Most farriers don't do blacksmithing work in terms of the architectural or ornamental, and most ornamental smiths don't shoe horses.
All of these arts, crafts, are considered sort of, I don't know if the word is dying, but they never go away. For instance, in blacksmithing, the processes that Benoit uses here are both traditional and thousands of years old. If you go to contemporary factories, you'll see forging going on an industrial level where you get multi-ton presses creating rims for tires, bending sheet metal, that sort of thing. So blacksmithing is changing, but it has not gone away.
Sometimes it's just on a whim. I might make a piece of sculpture, and it's just an idea, and it comes to life. Just to find something genuinely made by a craftsman, you know, it's not just blacksmithing, but it's anything. It's pottery, it's leatherworking, it's woodworking. All of these traditional crafts are coming back because there's a look and there's an aesthetic that you cannot achieve with the mass-produced goods. And so there is part of the population that enjoys this, that likes this, the handcrafted appeal of these works.
Thanks to people like Benoit, this ancient art still lives on through the modern era and provides unique handcrafted items. For Community Producers, I'm Anya Aldred.